somebody in here. Go ahead and call the meeting to order. And who's calling the roll? Jordan?
Jim Herring, Danny Clark, here. Matthew Barnhill,
Here.
Steve Janakis,
Here.
Dusty Jordan,
Here.
Devin Pickard,
Here.
Ricky Murray,
Here.
Becky Bates.
Here.
We have 7 present, 1 absent. We do have a quorum. Jordan has an agenda. I think it is. Where is it in? Oh, it's right here. Take a minute to look at it, and I will accept a motion to approve.
Motion approved.
Got a motion to approve by Steve Janakis and a second by Matthew Barnhill. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Now it's time for public comment, and I don't, anybody want to comment? And no. Okay, the minutes are also in your packet. You've had time to take a look at it. Accept the motion to approve the agenda, the minutes from the last meeting, the May meeting. Motion by Commissioner Pickard, second by Commissioner Giannakis. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Being the first day of the month, and we have, reports, I don't think Jordan has any reports, any numbers for us, but he's got some numbers in there, from the finance office, so Jordan, let her rip.
Alright. I was able to pull off all the reports except for.
Oh, are you?
one.
You're a good man.
Yeah. I've got a copy of the one that just came in late, but, the first one's a statement of his expenses. Five-page report.
Anything jump out at you, Jordan?
Yeah, the expenses were $233,000 this month. 80,000 of that was a principal on loans, and then there was about $10,000 or $11,000 in interest, and that's shown on lines 604, 612, and 613. So,
Anybody got any questions for Jordan on that particular statement? And then we'll move on to the statement of revenue.
yeah. Statement of revenue, on track. Billing office is doing above what we budgeted for the year from the recent enforcement.
In the recent,
Yeah, getting, escalating some of these delinquent accounts, we
oh, okay.
see that this,
Enforcement.
yeah, enforcement.
Well, that was good. Glad to see we're ahead. Any questions for Jordan on the revenue? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the financial summaries for both. Motion by Steve Giannakis, second by Matthew Barnhill. And we need a roll call vote on that.
Jim Herring, Danny Clark,
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
Steve Janakis.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Becky Bates.
Yes.
Passes. Alright.
This is the, next one is the Hickman County Solid Waste Billing Office Report for May of 26th. It shows, we resolved 91.76% of the bills we sent out this year. And, we're continuing to reduce our debt. It's down 4% from last month.
Outstanding, down 4%, good.
Yeah. All right, any thoughts on the billing office's work this past month?
And then we can move on.
It's a big recycling month. We recycled we recycled 3.5 tons of cans, about half a ton of other non-ferrous metals, that's like copper wire, copper motors, batteries, circuit boards from televisions and computers. I'll talk more about that later. Then we got almost 100 tons of cardboard, 98.07 tons of cardboard, 17.68 tons of glass. We're storing our oil on site for heat in the winter, so you probably won't see very much sales in oil. 17.95 tons of plastic. 21 tons of metal.
What was that plastic, those buckets?
Buckets,
Okay.
yeah. Yep, number 2, buckets.
Anybody got any questions for Jordan so far? Okay, Jordan.
Moving on to the director's report. Got 2 holidays before the next meeting. You got June 19th and the 4th of July. And the 4th of July falls on a Saturday. And so I was talking to usually we take off Friday and then we'll work Saturday. Unless anybody has an alternate. It's kind of
You're
a
running it.
tricky situation.
That is.
So,
You're running it.
all right.
Anybody disagree?
Y'all close at 2 on.
Yeah, 6-hour day on Saturday, 8 to 2.
Except these.
What's that?
Except these, like 7 to 7, right?
Yes, that's, I'm glad you pointed that out. So whoever draws that straw is gonna be thrown down. All right, the next meeting is Monday, July 6th. And then, non-ferrous scrap and electronic scrap test program. What we did is we, started tearing apart electronics, and when we get scrap metal, we'll pull out stuff with electric motors, and, we've been sorting those out with inmates have been doing the work. We did it for 2 weeks, and we went to the scrap yard with one inmate back there doing the work, and the check from the scrap yard was like about $1,400. I don't have the exact number because my admin is gone today, but, so I didn't look it up, but it was about $1,400. And it works with the, trustees, it probably wouldn't work with, it'd be kind of borderline with part-time, and it wouldn't work with full-time, so it's something we're just trying out to, see if we can get some more revenue, but pretty promising those first 2 weeks. And the only reason it's working right now is because the copper, there's really strong markets for copper, gold, and they're getting gold out of the people we sell it to get gold from the circuit boards, and, so that stuff's really high right now for some reason, but. Anyway, so we're continuing to evaluate that. The other thing we've got going on is working on this commercial and industrial bill that's part of the last resolution, and we're running some issues where solid waste is having to make judgment calls about who gets a bill. And so Randy, I think, has a plan to get a report together. So Randy, y'all wanna talk about the commercial bill?
Yes.
Alright.
Well, we don't have a report for the commercial. That, we have one, and, local government cannot read it, you know. Kinda give y'all an example, and then I built one in office, and they can't read it either. That's a copy of the trustee bill. What I'd like to see, if we're gonna do this, let's go and do it right. You know, we've always fed, I hate to say this, but we've always fed solid waste a bunch of junk files, you know, that they have to pick through. If we're gonna build this thing, let's go and build it right, to where they will have a dump. It'll be a solid waste, commercial dump, and when I say dump, it's a file, and they'll have a solid waste residential file. You know, the worst part about it is, we're gonna have to get a format for it first, you know, which we can do that's not a problem. Then it's gonna take E-ring, which is one that'll be building the report. It'll take them about 2 months to get it done, you know, but it'll be done when it's done. It's just like this trustee dump for tax billing. You know, we send it, and, you know, it gets loaded, no problems. That's the way I'd like to see this happen. Now, that doesn't stop them, we still got the residential side of stuff, you know, but we don't have the commercial side. So, that's where we're at right now. And I'd like to want to get this stuff built, but the residential file that we send every year, you know, Anita has to spend hours and hours and hours trying to get that thing cleaned up. I'd like to build a dump, something like that, and, you know, get it right and get it done, you know. That's what I'd like to see, but, you know, but I don't know what the time frame is on the commercial side, so.
Barry, got any questions for Randy? Randy, I do. Randy,
Yeah.
you say it take about 2 months to get this done? Well, now that would, necessarily mean that we'd be 2 months away from, 2 months before we're able to build, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, now that was.
But it would go real smooth every year after that, you know, after we get this thing built.
I understand.
Yeah.
We had passed, that resolution, I believe, said, took effect July 1st, didn't we?
So, yeah.
Jordan and
Resolution
I
took
talked the
effect
other day, and
July
he told me that it might be the case, so I want this body to know that, you know, it may be end of August, 1st September before is that a good timing, Randy?
I would say sometime in September, yes.
Before we're able to actually start building and see an impact, is that correct? Am I correct? Oh, it's either that or we don't do anything, I guess, if we don't have the right information. So I just want this body to know, and if anybody disagrees and has a better idea, then I and Jordan and Randy would like to hear it, and Anita.
And,
Yes, sir.
and what we need, all right, see, what we're gonna do, and what throws a little kink into this too, is like apartments, let's use Tulipwood, for example. You know, we charge Tulipwood residential rates because it's residential. But the building and everything's on commercial, so we'll have to pull all of that. You know, these reports will pull all the apartments out. Duplexes are on commercial. They will pull them out and put them into residential. This will separate it out, you know, that way they're on commercial, but they're residential use, for apartments and residential. You know, it'll be like stores, warehouses, restaurants, you know, stuff like that will be in the commercial side of it. And that's part of the problem now, you know. And I mean, I built one and it's got the correct information on it. But like I said, local government, what did it have on the Jordan Ford, a little over 400 on it?
Well, if it's 400 for commercial properties.
If you go one, let's use Save-A-Lot, and this is what I need to know from y'all. Let's use Save-A-Lot, for example. The building out there is owned by Chin and Associates. Okay, you've got Walgreens, Walgreens Walgreens is separate, I'm sorry. So you've got Save-A-Lot, you've got, Snacky Pizza, you've got the Mexican restaurant, you've got, O'Reilly's. Does that get one bill or does that get 4 bills?
I think it should get four.
Yeah, the intent, I think, was by business, basically.
Not by owner.
Yeah, not by owner, just like the apartment.
Yeah.
So I think your system shows one,
Yes.
It's one building.
it shows one
It's one
building.
building, but it's got 4 different, businesses in it.
Yeah.
You know, same thing up there at the east, the little strip
But
mall beside
essentially,
the
your
dollar
tax
store.
card's gonna pick up each of those entities when you write this new program.
We're gonna have to try to make it. I mean,
Because the way it's
we can
right
pull,
now.
we can pull them off of personal property though, I think, you know.
And then the alternate problem is that you'll have one business, like a storage unit, company, and they'll have divided
It'll have-
up all their,
Let's use Barber's storage buildings. You know, that's got 4 different buildings on it. You don't need to charge but one for that whole area there. So there's another problem. These are the things that we've got to work out, you know. You know, Barber Storage has got like 5 or 6 different buildings, more than that probably, I don't know exactly. But, you know, to me, Barber Storage only ought to get 1 bill. You don't wanna give them one for each barber. Now, you know, but I think on the case of O'Reilly's and stuff like that, you know, y'all, what I'm hearing from y'all is O'Reilly's ought to get 1, you know, Snacky's ought to get 1, you know, stuff like that.
Yes.
So we may be able to pull that information from the, you know, from personal property stuff, so.
Cause would that have the suite number? And that's the only way you identify it is suite number.
But we identify the name,
Yeah.
you know, and, you know, and another thing too, we may just have to, I mean, and it's gonna be a work in progress, you know. I'm not saying it ain't, but if we can get it started, we ain't gonna get nothing done if we don't get it started though, you know. But I think, you know, we've always had a good file that we send to for the trustees for tax billing. If we're gonna do this, let's go and fix the file for solid waste and get it done right, and make it easy to load. After we get where to load, it's, you know, it's so easy to do it then.
And normally bills go out July 1st?
I'm sorry.
Normally bills go out July
July.
1st,
First week.
so we just push back.
Residential's ready to go.
Yeah, I think we
Okay.
just put back to commercial, not to.
Okay.
Residential's ready. You know, we can get by it now. What I'd like to do is build a new one for residential. You know, I'm gonna have to get with local government, get a template from them, and then we'll go from there, you know.
But by doing this, and doing one for residential, it's not gonna affect,
It's not gonna affect
Residential
residential this
bills.
year.
it'll
No.
just be
It's ready to
commercial.
go.
Yes.
It's ready to go.
Okay, so,
But, you know, the residential one we've got now has got a bunch of what I call junk in it that they have to sort out. You know, let's get just exactly what they need and not give them all this extra stuff, you know.
It'll just make it more efficient for next year.
It will.
yeah.
will this cost any more taxpayer dollars? Okay, so we don't have to wait to go through the county commission, go ahead and do it. We can prove it.
I've done talk to Ring, they said they'd be glad to get it done, we've got to give them the information.
Okay.
The only thing I don't know is in the resolution, I think we dictated when the bills would go out, when they'd be due.
And we did, that's what I said, well, we'll have to push that back. I think July 1st was the day we put on there.
Just amend the resolution.
The annual, residential fee had no, said effective July 1st.
It's not gonna go back to your record being correct.
Did I misunderstand? Did you say Walgreens is,
I think it's
Not-
separate,
how, you,
it's a separate parcel, I think.
that particular part of the building?
Yes.
I see. But they would still pay them?
Yeah, they would pay.
Yeah, yeah, I see,
It-
okay.
it'd be
I thought you meant they were
separate.
disqualified for some reason.
I think, no, Walgreens is on. a
Not
separate
part of that,
parcel.
I see.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was built after, Bill Stever built the rest of it. You know.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Should we, yeah, it does say like that in there. Should we talk to Dan just to see if we need to put an amendment to the resolution for
Yeah.
this year only and then?
Yeah, I'll talk to him. And we're forecasting probably end August, first of September, right?
I would say probably somewhere around first September.
I'll talk to
I'll probably try to start on that Monday with Jordan and Anita and, you know, y'all know what's going on this week, so I think it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Start next week. And we'll start, you know, I'll get with local government. If they've got a template already built that they want, it won't be any problem,
No.
you know.
If you have to build it, it'll be a little, that
If
would,
I had to build it, it'd probably take me a quick, they don't have, I mean, they don't have the information that, like the tax billing does.
Right.
I mean, it's not as big of a, you know, so it shouldn't be a big, you know, big bill, I mean, big, template to build, you know.
well, go ahead and proceed with it, and I'll check with Dan, see if there's any, if we need to do, amendment to the, resolution to extend it to whatever date we say, it's September first. I don't think that'll be a problem if we have to do that.
And like I said, we'll talk to, I'll talk to local government first next week and, make sure, and I'll let you know if they throw something, a kink into something that I would foresee, but I don't think it'll be a problem, you know.
All right. Anything else on those concerns from the committee?
There's one thing is, you know, right now, we'll send the residential solid waste bill out, it'll be $110. And then if it's late, on day one it's late, it goes up to 140. And then the way the resolution's worded is it stops at $180. And that's how it will go unless there's any, that's how the resolution is written, unless there's any interest in changing that.
Anybody got any interest in changing that? I mean, have to do another amendment to that, we have to do an amendment to that resolution if we did. Any problem with the way Jordan set it out?
I think let's see, you know, how it goes this year and let's see.
Yeah.
All right.
Last thing is on this report is the budget.
And now, we did the resolutions last month, last month, county commission meeting, to be able to fund this budget. And what we need for Thursday night, Steve?
Yes.
Thursday night budget meeting is to approve this budget. Anybody need Jordan to go over it? And we've seen it several times, I think.
Motion to recommend the budget committee to approve the budget as is written.
I'll say.
Got a motion by Danny Clark, a second by Leo Pickard. Any discussion? Do a roll call vote.
Jim Herring, Dan Clark, yes. Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
Steve Janowski.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
No.
Becky Bates.
Yes.
All right, passes. Steve, you'll see this Thursday night?
Sounds good. I was gonna make a suggestion, cause on this budget, we do have the reserve for the, solid waste equipment. And is to go ahead and get some equipment lined up based off of, you know, this budget, you know, as far as what we're gonna end up replacing, so that way.
Yeah.
I think she said she already had 150,000, so it's earmarked.
Yeah.
This would be another 190,000, so what's that?
Yeah.
340,
340.
yeah, that will be available at the end of next year, really.
Get bids together.
Just thinking about, I mean, what's gonna end up happening if you don't spend it on equipment, and once she earmarks it, I think it has to be used for equipment, you know, like, so that's, she was very cautious about that when I was talking to Crystal. She doesn't mind earmarking it, but then once you do it, you can't use it for other things, so.
Good deal. Yeah, go ahead.
Be thinking about equipment that
Right, yeah.
needs replacement, cause I know you got some.
Yeah, I've got a table that has the projected life of each piece.
Yeah,
and like-
I knew you had it, yeah, but just, so you know what's coming and what's gonna be kind of for the future.
So,
Anybody got anything else? I have a little bit of new business, it's actually old business, several years old. Can't remember, 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, through Marshall Blackburn's office and the county attorney, city mayor and county mayor, county mayor did show up at the time. We have worked, out to get the FAA land out by, that joins solid waste. That fell through, as you're aware of redistricting our new, probably, if he's elected, Andy Ogles will be our rep, and his, I'm not sure what Rick's, title is, but he's similar to what, most of you know, Steve Albrook. Similar to what Steve Albrook has been for Marshall Blackburn, Mark Green, and now Matt Van Epps. I mentioned to him in January is when that actually takes place. Matt Van Epps is our rep until January, and then after that, whoever's elected in, what district we're in, the 5th district now, will be. And Rick asked me, called me the other day, and was asking me about Rick Williams, as his name, if I didn't say that. Called and asked if there's anything that they could be looking toward. And I told him about what had happened and that Steve was involved, when Marshall Blackburn was in office, and he has offered to come and meet with you and the mayor and anybody else that's interested, and he's given me some days. Usually, it's been for this week in the afternoon, I've got some things going on. I told him I'd get back with him. And we may want to include Randy, because of the way because he's got the deeds and the plats and all that. But Rick is willing to come out and sit down with us. And I've known Rick for years, and he can be aggravating. So saying that is a good thing, because he'll keep on till he gets an appointment, and then he'll keep on till he gets something, hopefully something done. So I will let anybody interested in showing up, I will let y'all know when it's gonna be, and we will include the city mayor. And if any of this committee would like to be there, that'll be fine too. May not be a publicized meeting. I don't think it has to be, because it's representatives, one of our representatives meeting with the local elected officials to get, but it will be open to whoever wants to attend. So just to let you know, that should be, like I said, he can be aggravating. I like him, so if anybody wants to tell him I said that, that's fine. So I will let y'all know. He called me again this afternoon, and I said I would mention it tonight, and hopefully be able to give him an answer in the next day or so. So put that out there. Anybody wants to be there, let me know, and I will let y'all know whatever his schedule is to be able to be here. And that's all I got. Now, Danny.
Motion to adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn from Mr. Clark, and a second by everybody else.
Yeah, thank you.